Hey everybody, it's me, Flyersguy, and welcome to another edition of Throwback Flyersguy. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about the time I used to collect. I used to collect and play the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game. Now, for those of you who don't know, I wasn't just into the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game. This is actually going to be talking about the anime and how I got into it. It all started, trying to think here. It all started around October of 2001. I was watching Kids WV. I got up in the morning, watched Pokemon, and then all of a sudden a new show was premiering, and that show was Yu-Gi-Oh! And the first episode that I saw was the episode where Yugi had his first duel with Seto Kaiba. I remember that episode. That was a great episode, great introduction into the anime series. And I was a big fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! I was hooked at the start, and I loved every episode. And fast forward to early 2002, when a new the first Yu-Gi-Oh! Video game was released on the Game Boy Color, and that game was Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Duel Stories. My friend that I went to school with, my friend Robert, he had the game, and I played it, and it was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. And I remember going down the shore in 2002. Went to a place on Ocean City Boardwalk, a place called Surf Mall. It was kind of like a mall, but it was like a Hot Topic type of mall that would sell everything. They would sell candy, clothes, posters, t-shirts, and of course, Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, and sports cards as well. And I walked in there and I saw Dark Duel Stories for sale. And I bought it there. I bought the game and I was hooked instantly. I remember just sitting there playing the game all day in the house, and coming back from vacation, I played the game a lot as well. And I really enjoyed it. I got so good at it. And it took me a while to actually beat the game. It took me till September of 2002 to actually beat the game. I first started collecting Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards in 2002. I remember buying a couple packs at Surf Mall down the shore. I remember my collection increased. I even bought a few theme decks as well. I bought the decks that I bought were the Yugi deck and the Kaiba deck. They were the first two that came out. And on my birthday in December, on December 8th, 2002, my birthday, my Uncle Gary bought me the Yu-Gi-Oh! Collector 10. Now, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Collector 10, it came with a rare card, and that card was Red Eyes, Black Dragon. And that was a very rare card. Not only that, there was a bunch of food. You get like 7 packs of cards in there, like 4 packs of cards in that sandwich. And in one of the packs, forget what I got, but I got a lot of good cards in those packs, and I was really happy about that. Fast forward to a month later, my dad ordered some cards for me, and they were Japanese Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Not only that, I had a couple more decks added to my collection. I forget when that was, but I was still collecting Yu-Gi-Oh at the time. Going into 2002, Yu-Gi-Oh was in its, I don't know, second season, but it was the finale of the first season, and it was like a 4-part arc of episodes put together. And it was a tournament where Yugi goes to Pegasus Castle, and he goes through a tournament, and apparently, at the end of the first arc of season 1, Pegasus was stealing the souls of people. He got the soul of Kaiba's little brother, Mokuba, and also Yugi's grandfather. And Yugi was on a quest. In that tournament, he fought My Valentine in the first episode. I think I remember Joey Wheeler fighting Bandy Chief in the second episode. And then I remember Yugi and Joey dueling in the third episode. And then Yugi facing off against Maximilian Pegasus, which would be the last episode of that arc. And Yugi won the tournament, got the souls back of his grandfather, Kaiba's brother, and Senator Kaiba as well. So that arc ended, and then a whole new arc started up around November of 2002. It might be either November or October of 2002, where they get trapped inside of the game world, and they have to fight their way out. Now, this was a very innovative season of Yu-Gi-Oh! I really enjoyed this one. Then after it came to an end, there was a whole other arc for Yu-Gi-Oh! It was the Battle City arc. And in that arc, each character would go around the city, dueling opponents. Not just that, we also had some new villains as well. We had Mary Ishtar. I forget what they're called. They were a gang of hooded people. Gang of people that would steal people's cards. And they would also steal Millennium items as well. So that was one of the longest arcs in Yu-Gi-Oh! History, because in that arc, around 2003, there was another arc where they got sucked into another world, like a virtual world, and they had to fight their way out. And they had to deal with a new villain called Noah, and also they had to face off against the Big Five, which were I forget what they did. They worked for Senator Kaiba, and the thing is, they trapped all the characters in different worlds. And this was when Yu-Gi-Oh! Lynch produced a new concept to the game. That'd be something known as the Death Leader. Now, each character had their own Death Leader. Yugi had Dark Magician. Taya had Dark Magician Girl. Joey Wheeler had the Flame Swordsman. Tristan Taylor had Cyber Commander. And I forget what, we also had the character of Duke Devil. Well, let's go back. We got another series that is kind of canon. And it was Yu-Gi-Oh! Dungeon Dice Monsters. Now, Yu-Gi-Oh! Dungeon Dice Monsters was a little different than the actual card game. Instead of cards, you would have dice. So, I ain't really talking about that because I wasn't a big fan of that new concept. Also, let's go back to my birthday on December 8th, 2002. That year I got Yu-Gi-Oh! Eternal Duelist Soul for the Game Boy Advance. In December 2003, my Yu-Gi-Oh! Collection increased as I had the Jelly Wheeler deck, and I also had the Pegasus deck, and the Bandit Cheese deck. Not only that, I bought a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Game, Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship Edition, which was an updated version, a more definitive version of Eternal Duelist Soul. And that game was fun. I really enjoyed that one. And then we go into 2004, when the Battle City arc officially came to an end, and a new season in late 2004 would make its premiere. And in that season, it would be the Yu-Gi-Oh! Legends of Dragons. In this arc, there was a new card called the Seal, the Lord Calcos, and everybody's villains that would use this card. And it would give her monsters unlimited power. Yugi, Jelly, and Kaiba faced off against these new enemies. And this was a really good arc. I remember getting to the end of it and just really enjoying it. And basically, that was it for Yu-Gi-Oh! For me. And 2004 was my last year of collecting Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. Now, years later, around 2013, 2014, I played a couple of Yu-Gi-Oh! Games through emulators. And it really took me back to when I was a kid. Yu-Gi-Oh! Was very innovative at the time. But honestly, the show really didn't have a good following after that. They did try their luck with Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, but that was a flop. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, that was also a flop. And in 2005, the season of Yu-Gi-Oh! Was not that good. It got very bad ratings. And people seem to lose interest. But this show is also made by the same people who made Metal Gear Solid. The same people who made the Suikoden series. And the same people who made the Mystical Ninja series. Yu-Gi-Oh! Was a card game that was able to compete with Pokemon. And it kept Pokemon going. It helped Pokemon reinvent itself. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Was the competition. Yu-Gi-Oh! Was like the WCW to Pokemon's WWE. And just like WCW, Pokemon would conquered once again and proved that they were untouchable. And in the legacy of the Yu-Gi-Oh card game. Now they still make Yu-Gi-Oh cards today, but they're not as popular as how they were as popular as when they first came out around 2001. Being a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh, it was a fun time. And it was one of the best times of my childhood through my teenage years. And just like everything, I grew out of Yu-Gi-Oh. I moved on in 2005, and I never looked back. But the memories of collecting Yu-Gi-Oh cards will always be with me, because I enjoyed it. From the first time I saw the TV show to the first time I collected my first set of cards, the memories of Yu-Gi-Oh, when Yu-Gi-Oh was at its peak, will always be one of the best moments in pop culture history. It's when Pokemon actually had a legitimate threat in the Yu-Gi-Oh card game. Pokemon conquered the Harry Potter card game. The Harry Potter card game couldn't even touch the Pokemon card game. But in a way, Pokemon was definitely responsible for the lack of popularity in later years for Yu-Gi-Oh. But it was a good time. I'll always remember playing the card game with my friends in my driveway. I'll always remember collecting and trading cards with my friends either at school or in my neighborhood. To tell you the truth, I wasn't that good at the Yu-Gi-Oh card game. But I gotta tell you, it sure was fun, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm glad I had the opportunity to experience something like that in my life. Guys, thank you for joining me here on Throwback Flyersguy. In my next episode, I'm going to talk about when I had pen pals. I'm going to talk about the time me and my classmates had pen pals from Elkins Park. Guys, thank you for joining me here and Throwback Flyersguy. I'll see you guys next time. And if you remember Yu-Gi-Oh, if you remember collecting the cards or playing the video games, please let me know about your memories of the Yu-Gi-Oh card game, Yu-Gi-Oh video games, or Yu-Gi-Oh, anything Yu-Gi-Oh. I also forgot to mention the last Yu-Gi-Oh game the Yu-Gi-Oh game that I played. There was one game that I played for the PlayStation 2, and that was Yu-Gi-Oh! The List of the Roses. I wasn't really good in that game, but the graphics were really good, and I enjoyed playing it. So guys, thank you for joining me here on Throwback Flyersguy. I'll see you guys next time.